Welcome
Aquaba.
to the podcast.
Aquaba. So
Bienvenue.
I thought Bienvenue sounds Ponzi. Aquaba sounds. Who are they?
Who are they?
Aquabes. What is your favourite word?
Focaccia or trepidation.
What is your least favourite word?
Oh, actually, can I change my answer to the first one?
What is your favourite word?
Cabbage patch.
It's 2 words.
Yeah, is it?
There's no hyphen.
Okay. Cabbage.
What is your least favourite word?
Patch.
Patch.
Patch. No.
What's your least favourite
word? My least favourite word. Probably like a conjunctive, like and or something. It doesn't do anything. Well, it does loads, but it's boring, isn't it? So yeah, and.
What turns you on creatively, spiritually, or emotionally?
Daft Punk's good. I've been enjoying the new Daft Punk song. I've been listening to that all on my way to and from work this week. So yeah, Daft Punk turns me on creatively, spiritually.
Your favourite word's cabbage, and Daft Punk turns you on. What turns you off?
Liars.
Okay. What is your favourite curse word?
Probably. For a while, I really wanted to turn cockfosters into a curse word and be like, cockfosters. But then I thought that's an affectation and that's annoying. So probably just like shit.
What sound or noise do you love?
Daft Punk. No, let me change that. Actually, no, I'm going to stay with Daft Punk.
What sound or noise do you hate?
Ice in a freezer when it's too full, when you pull something out and it scrapes. I hate that.
Yeah. I forgot to do that thing of like, a father speaks. At the end he goes like, what sound do you love? The children's laughter. A father speaks.
What would be your response to me saying Daft Punk? A Daft Punk fan speaks. I don't even consider myself that big a fan. They're just my sound of the week.
A tithead
If you ask me this next week, I'd probably say, I don't know, Vashti Bunyan or something. I'd have moved on.
I can't stand her in interviews.
Vashti Bunyan?
Yeah,
I've never seen an interview with her.
She's too, mousy.
Yeah, but if you listen to the music, that's where the joy is, isn't it?
Yeah, that's certainly where my joy is.
I remember I discovered Vashti Bunyan at uni. I don't know why I said that. Cut that. I was just saying where I discovered Vashti Bunyan.
Why would anyone want to cut that? What profession other than your own would you like to attempt?
Clinical psychologist.
Okay. What profession would you not like to do?
Toilet guy.
Toilet guide?
Yeah, no. Like one of those people who hands out the soap in the toilets.
All right.
I think I'd find it demeaning.
Who hands out the soap?
Yeah,
I'm imagining bars of soap.
Yeah, that's what they do at nightclubs. They hand out all the soap.
Oh, do you know what? I wasn't even thinking of a nightclub. I was thinking of like Euston toilets.
Who shaves in a public toilet? Do they hand out aftershave? Cloakroom attendant.
Cloakroom attendant.
Yeah, I'd hate to be a cloakroom attendant. I wouldn't mind being a cloakroom attendant at like one of those cloakrooms at a venue where you hand in a coat. That would be all right.
You'd enjoy that job.
Yeah, I'd love that. I'd love that. But toilet, no. It's the thought of what everyone's doing there depressed me. Yeah, I'd be like, I'm still here doing my job, and
they're doing
at all times that I'm doing my job, 5 feet away is someone doing a poo. I think that thought would really
constant smell of shit.
That would really put me off.
Because when you picture it,
sorry guys, you'd have to say stupid rhymes like some of those.
Oh yeah, this is Jose's. Jose's written a song about a cloakroom attendant. It's not finished, but he's written some.
Some of the rhymes
He's written some rhymes that a cloakroom attendant might say to liven his job up. So we got no CK, no BJ, no Armani, no Punani, no Paco Rabanne, go home with a man. No splash, no gash, no Armani, no Punani again. But Punani's spelt differently now. No Calvin Klein, no 69, no soap, no hope. No Davidoff, no sucky off. Wash your fingers for the mingers. No spray, no lay, no cologne, go home alone. Have a piss, then spray some of this. No sanitation, no penetration. If you stink, you get no pink. No Hugo Boss, no cheeky toss. And then there's a YouTube link at the bottom. I don't know what to. They're good.
Cheeky toss.
Keep your eye out on the WhatNot YouTube channel, and that sketch will be up sometime.
If heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say when you arrive at the pearly gates?
Welcome.
Maquaba.
I'd like to hear the intro to the WhatNot podcast.
But heaven is just you listening to it.
Again and again. That's just what I do now.
My turn now.
Okay. What is your favourite word?
Oh God, I didn't. Do you know what the thing is? 'Cause when I watch Inside the Actors Studio,
Yeah, which is what we're
they
doing, by the
answer
way.
immediately.
Yeah, well,
Right.
they'd have planned, don't they?
Exactly. Yeah, but I
You
didn't.
haven't.
I just watched it thinking that'll be good to do on the podcast. My favourite. I don't really have a favourite.
I remember watching Inside the Actors Studio, and then it was Colin Firth, and James Lipton said, "What's your favourite word?" And he said his favourite word was "get," because it can mean so many different things. And then he gave examples. He said, "Here's some examples: get a life, get a job, get in the car." And I was like, they all mean the same thing. you just change, like, the word is exactly the same in all those sentences.
All right. Well, with that in mind, I've got a favourite word.
Okay, what is your favourite word?
Right.
Why?
Because it can mean so many different things.
A father speaks.
Write this down. Is that right?
Am I right?
Look to your right. There you go. Favourite word.
What is your least favourite word? Presumably a word that only means
Left.
one thing.
Because it means too many things. I don't really have a least favourite word. Oh, no, I do. And that word is my least favourite word is gay. Because it's used as a slur.
K.
Do you not hear what I said? Gay.
Oh, gay. Sorry, I thought you said K.
Because it's used as a slur.
I saw a poster
And I hate that.
the other day that had all the offensive words on it, but blanked out, so you couldn't really see them. And then it had Jippo and Scum and Chav, but in bold, so you could see them. And then at the bottom it said, "Why is this minority group still allowed to be persecuted against?" And I thought, good point.
Someone should just scribble out everything it says against after allowed. Why is this minority group still allowed? My favourite bit of scribbling out was in Torbay in the leisure centre.
Yeah.
They'd taken out a few letters, so it now said "swim in poo."
There's
Really
another.
happy with that.
There's another poster up at my work because that's where I saw the Jippo one. And there's a poster, and it's a series of 3 posters that's supposed to raise awareness about dyslexia. And they have these captions on them. And the first 2 are just things like, "People look straight through me because of my dyslexia," stuff like that. And 2 of them, everything's spelt correctly. And then on the 3rd one, it says, "My dyslexia doesn't affect the way I think," but they've spelt "effect" with an E, which is obviously the wrong usage of it. And at first I saw it and I was like, "Oh, that's clever. That's ironic because it's dyslexia." But then neither of the other 2 posters have any mistakes in them, so I think it's just a really unfortunate typo.
Because you can get at uni you can get a laptop if you're dyslexic, can't you?
You can get dyslexic laptops.
You can get like a free Mac.
Can you?
You've got I've got a mate who got like a free Mac because he's got a
Free Big Mac.
because
He's dyslexic, you get a free Big Mac.
No, he's got a free. You get like a free Mac and all this stuff. But I had a mate who went in and he tried to get
Eddie
that.
Burger. Sorry.
I went in a mate I went in a mate.
You went in a
I had a
mate.
mate who tried to go in and get a, pretend to be dyslexic to get a free Mac, and he failed. They said, because he said he tried to do it so that like he got some things right and got some things wrong, but hopefully it would just tip the scales and he would seem dyslexic, but he passed.
Right, I'm going to go back to the questions. What turns you on creatively, spiritually, or emotionally?
Creatively, what turns me on, I'm going to say, is people I can bounce off of.
Okay.
Spiritually,
Like me.
what turns me on is people I can bounce off of. And emotionally, people I can bounce off of. I'm big into wrestlers.
What turns you off?
What turns me off?
Yeah.
Do you know actually what really hairy arseholes? I had a Valentine's Day. I had a we're not friends on Facebook anymore, so
aren't we?
Name that. Not you. No, not yours, Joss. Love yours, Joss. No, I had a Valentine's.
Yeah.
Like the worst Valentine's of my. Have I spoken about this with the Valentine's somehow? But another thing that I didn't mention, but now seems appropriate to. She had a really hairy ass. Oh,
Really? I've never had a Valentine date. Never had a date on Valentine's Day.
I've only had a couple.
Are they good? Well, no, hairy bums.
The last, that's it.
You know what they say about Valentine's Day? Hairy bums. That's
It's
what
just
I've
the
heard.
arrogance of it, I thought, because it was like a proper hairbrush what she had going on. It wasn't like, a few hairs.
Why is that
It was like a
arrogance?
real.
What were you doing around there anyway?
Put her on her stomach.
What?
I put her on her stomach.
Oh, right, okay.
Just gonna
We,
have sex with her from behind.
I thought you were trying to do, like, actual, bum, that, in the bum.
Jesus Christ, Jules. In the right. Should we just skip the questionnaire and go on to how I talked about how to chat up women?
do you not want to do the rest
No,
of
let's
them?
do the other ones.
Okay. What's your favourite curse word?
Fuck. Anything with fuck.
What sound or noise do you love?
Sound or noise do I love? This is, a youth worker speaks. Children laughing. Am I supposed to say youth worker speaks? No, it's
Specifically, the children you work with, or any children?
Well, any children, but the ones
I used to be very
I was gonna
scared
say the
of
ones I
children.
come into contact with, the ones in my group.
Have you heard about Rolf?
Yeah.
That's sad.
Do you know, we've kind of
My
charted
mate
his...
Rolf.
we've talked about Rolf a lot on this podcast.
I hope not.
He's just
Nobody
a
can
sex-
hear that, but Luke's just said that Rolf isn't a paedophile. He's just a
That's
sex
Luke
pest.
Chapronier of Arts.
Allegedly. What sound or noise do you hate? The music of Rolf Harris.
What sound and noise do I hate? Have we done favourite words and least favourite words?
Yeah.
I hate random.
Random.
I still don't like, because people say
What's
random.
your stance on the publishing company Random House?
Love it. Oh, I'm completely for Random House. But
Okay.
I don't like the use of the word random because it's not a description or something. If someone, it's almost like, it just makes me think of the visual of someone just, the word is what they've been exposed to is just bounced off their head. If someone says that was random, you've not described what you've just seen.
Did you know that the whole craze for suddenly using the word random that started in the early 2000s? And suddenly
Yes.
everything was random. People, like, something good would happen and people would go, oh yeah, that was random.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I invented that.
How did you do it?
We were watching The Mummy Returns. We were at my friend Lyndon Mackenzie's house, and we were watching The Mummy Returns. And then it got to a bit near the end where Imhotep walks into the palace of the Scorpion King, and then for no reason, loads of sort of black ghosts But like the colour black. They're not like, run at him, and he goes, and then they all fly off. And that happened, and then I said, that was random, and then everyone in the room laughed at my witticism. And then after that day,
the height of wit.
after that day, everybody was saying the word random. I think it started in Linda Mackenzie's living room that day in front of The Mummy Returns, and it spread around Britain. So you're welcome for that.
Thanks. Speaking of films, I watched Blades of Glory last night.
Are we moving on from the questions?
Is there any ones left?
What profession other than your own would you like to attempt?
You said clinical psychologist. I would have genuinely loved to have done something in neuroscience.
Really?
It was one of those things. I've got a real lay interest in it. I know it's a bit sober, but
I worked last year in a clinic for children with OCD, and I loved it, and I cried nearly every day that I was there because I'd learned something new and something sort of beautiful.
And they hadn't.
I learned that I've got it. I've got OCD, is one thing that I discovered, but I think everyone does.
But I would have
What profession would you not like to do?
No, I'd not like to do. I'm awful in an office, and because I'm a chatty moo. And the job that I did for about 5 years.
For a second, I thought it would be funny if you'd said I'm awful in the office, like you were in it and did a really bad job. Sorry,
yeah.
Go on.
And no, I was in the French Canadian version of The Office.
Really, were you good?
How many more questions are there?
There's, if heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say when you arrive at the pearly gates?
Well, we'd have to have a long chat. I'd have a long chat with him because of my religious upbringing.
Yeah, you'd be gutted.
No, he'd say, "Don't worry, there's plenty of time for that."
Like Uncle Monty and with
and then my clothes would just fall off and I would fly into heaven. I imagine that's what
Is
happened.
everyone naked in heaven? I'd hate that.
My heaven, everyone is.
I'd like everyone in trunks.
I can imagine you coming from a family of naturists.
I don't.
I can imagine it, though.
Yeah.
Arseholes. I saw Blades of Glory last night.
Yeah.
And I think
good?
we could do a good remake of that.
Who would I be?
You're the bitch.
I'd be Talladega Nights.
No,
Wait.
you're not Will Ferrell.
Okay.
How the fuck are you Will Ferrell in Blades of Glory? I'm Will Ferrell. You're Napoleon Dynamite.
Seeing it? Yeah, no, I would be him of those two. What's it about? Ice rinkers.
It's
Is that what
it's
what they're
about
called?
the upkeep of an ice rink.
Okay.
I thought
The upkeep.
I thought Grand Designs on Ice would be a good show.
Yeah, I'd watch that.
Yeah, just a matinee with that and Vera Drake.
You know Kevin McLeod.
Vera Drake on Ice would be good.
Kevin
wouldn't it?
McLeod from Grand Designs does gigs.
Does
gigs.
he?
Yeah, he does
What
live
gigs?
shows. You can go to the Grand Designs live show, and it's Kevin McLeod telling you how to build a house. You turn up, and then he goes like, "If you haven't seen Grand Designs, let me boil it down for you." And then in 2 hours, he tells you all about Grand Designs.
How to build a house in 2 hours.
Yeah, with Kevin McLeod. It's a good idea. Think about it. No one else is doing it. But that on ice, that'd be good.
He's just sat down.
But slowly sliding around the stage on his sat all fours, cross-legged, talking about houses, but sliding around the stage
With no mic. I'd watch that.
Yeah.
Oh, do you know what it is? It's they set up all these bowling pins, and he's just in like one of those gladiator hamster wheels. So it's just on ice.
Gladiators with Kevin McCloud.
How many? But he's doing all the events,
He's
and there's
totally
no
oblivious
gladiator.
that he's still just talking about how to build a house. He's like, now if you're thinking of going through the basic straw build,
7.
running up a conveyor belt, then doing the zip wire.
I would
Yeah,
that one of the big regrets of my life is that I won't get to do the Eliminator.
Yeah, I remember you saying this.
Yeah, unless, do you reckon, because you know how like the A-Team van is in Wolverhampton or something like that, and
Is it?
yeah,
You like Wolverhampton now?
I do like Wolverhampton now.
Yeah.
Ooh. Huh?
Have you ever been to Hackney City Farm?
I don't know. I took a girl to a Hackney farm that's got
Yeah.
got a donkey, and it farted on her.
I met a donkey at Hackney City Farm. I went with my friends Emily and Paul a couple of weeks ago.
Oh,
and we
yeah.
met this donkey, and we were just chatting with it for a while. It was lovely. We were having a
You were
nice
chatting
time.
with it for a while.
We were hanging out. We were having a nice time. And then we went on into the farm to see the other animals. And then as we walked away from the donkey, it screamed after us. So we were walking away, and then it went, no! So we went back. We were like, you all right? And then he was like, yeah, just didn't want you to go. And we were like, oh, okay. And then we turned again, and then he did it again. It was really sweet. It's the most endearing thing anyone's ever done for me. Is like scream after me as soon as I leave. No one's ever done that. It's all right. There's still time.
I don't know how to break it to you, George, but no one has. But we could do Blades of Glory. You'd be the bitch. I was trying to think of. We could do a lot of film remakes where you're the bitch.
Why would I reckon I could be like the cool one in some of them. You seen my new jacket?
I don't think so.
You seen my new jacket? I could be the cool one. I've inherited all my boss's children's clothes, so now I look cool. Because we came back from the Easter holiday a while ago, and then she was like, "Come to my apartment. I got something for you." I was like, "Oh, hello." It started, and then I went back, and she had this. She had this big bag. Now I've got a leather jacket, a pink sports shirt, like a 70s Pawn King shirt, 70s Pawn King jacket, and like this bomber jacket that I'm wearing today.
Well, I don't want to say what this child might have died of.
Well, oh no, they're alive. They don't like their clothes anymore.
But now you think you're fucking cock of the walk.
Yeah, no, I think I'm great. I don't know what they're wearing. They might have become naturists for all I know. I don't know. They might be, one of them works for Goldman Sachs. He might be wandering around Goldman Sachs naked. But I've got his clothes.
You get any underwear or anything like that?
Nah, I didn't even get any trousers. It was all upper body wear. So he's probably just wandering around shirtless, I imagine. But that was kind of her.
No, that's very nice.
So yeah, I could be the cool one.
No, I don't think so. Okay, just name a film with two people. No, any film with two
Batman and Robin.
Yeah, I'm Batman. And I'm Batman and the Joker.
I could do Batman.
No, you're Robin.
Huh? Well, Alfred.
You're Robin, the butler.
And Alfred. And Catwoman.
And, you're a penguin. I'd definitely be Batman.
Yeah, I suppose.
And
What about-
you could be Gary Oldman, actually, in 50 years' time.
I'd be, yeah.
Yeah.
Don't do it. That's pretty much his contribution,
You'd be
isn't
the
it?
bat sign.
Throughout the film. What
Well, the
about
film's got two people in it.
Magnolia? I mean, it's got more than two, but it's got two in it. Most films have got two people in it. Lord of the Rings.
Thelma and Louise, I'd be Brad Pitt.
Would I be both
I
the
never
women?
saw the film. Does Brad Pitt die? Do they kill Brad Pitt
They drive off a cliff.
with Brad Pitt? No, it's just them. And at
yeah,
the
it's
end
just
they
the two of
go.
them.
It's a famous line at the end.
They go into the abyss. I think, don't they? No, don't they go like keep on driving? I think they say start driving and carry on driving until you've gone off the edge. And
I'm trying to
don't.
think, what are the last words of Thelma and Louise? He said it into the abyss. Into the abyss.
No, I think it's keep driving and remember to carry on driving until
Keep
the
calm
end of
and
the film.
carry on.
Keep
Is that
calm
what
and
it
carry
is?
on.
Keep listening until the end.
Those, No,
Keep
they're
calm and
famous
explore
last
with
words.
Thelma
They're
and
like
Louise.
really famous last words. Like, I don't want to live without you.
Why do they get so depressed at the end of the film?
Why are
'Cause
they get so impressed?
I've never seen it.
Depressed.
But my understanding of the film is they're very empowered. They go on a road trip. They fall in love with Brad Pitt. They they really show it. They show men who's boss. And then for some, I've never seen the film, so I don't know. But for some reason, something happens at the end. They get really depressed and drive off a cliff.
Don't they kill like their?
They're on the run. They're on the
On
run.
their run. I think they
Don't kill yourself.
Nuns on the run. Have you ever seen Nuns
Yes,
on the Run?
Robbie Coltrane.
I'd be Robbie Coltrane, I think, in that one. And
Yeah, you would.
you'd be Eric Idle. Finding Nemo.
I'd be the
shark.
shark. I'd be the shark.
How would you be the shark?
I've got the teeth.
You are Nemo or the no, is it
The dad. Marlin. Marlin.
Dora the Explorer?
I don't forget anything.
Finding what's
I've
it?
never forgotten a thing in my
Because
life.
there's a remake now. What's
remake
it called?
of Finding Nemo. Do you mean a sequel?
Sequel.
Remake. Live action version. Finding Nemo the remake. What about?
I would love to see a live action, but I would watch that.
To Kill a Mockingbird, you'd be Tom Robinson and I'd be Atticus Finch.
I'd be Gregory Peck.
No, I'd be Gregory Peck. You'd be the black guy.
Shawshank Redemption.
I'd be Morgan Freeman.
How are you Morgan Freeman?
I'm wise. I'm wise.
No, you
I'm
get,
wise and I'm no good at digging tunnels.
You get no. To be fair, you would definitely
Isn't
be
it
Tim
lucky
Robbins.
that Andy Dufresne's cell was at the end of a row? Because if it wasn't, he'd have he just ended up in Morgan Freeman's cell. Like, all right, mate, can you cover this with a poster? Because that's what I've done, and that'd be it. That's all they'd be able to do.
Lion King.
I'd be Timon.
I'd be Mufasa. I think I'd be a good Mufasa. Yeah.
Toy Story. I'd be Woody. So
You'd
I'd
definitely be Woody,
You'd
and
be Buzz. So I'd be the lead. I'd be the lead character.
genuinely don't know what I think about that.
Okay, one more.
Why one more?
James Bond.
I'd be James Bond. I'd be which James Bond would you be? I'd be Sean Connery.
I'd be Timothy Dalton. My favourite James Bond line of any James Bond film is in, I think it might be License to Kill, but it's the bit where he's on a conveyor belt in a machine and then he goes, I know about the stingers. That's the best James Bond line. And then the villain stops the machine and goes, what do you know about stingers? I love that moment.
Yeah.
Shall I talk about my Doctor Who series? Because I don't know if anybody's been watching Doctor... Have you been watching Doctor Who? The new...
I don't
I
like
watched
Doctor
it this
Who on any
morning
level.
and I ate 6 penguins while I was watching it. I feel really bilious.
Do you remember any of the jokes?
What?
Do you remember any of the jokes?
What does a penguin wear at the beach? A bikini. There was one that just said, why do penguins have thick layer of fur? No, feathers. Why do penguins have a thick layer of feathers? And it was because it's snow cold. That's like on no level. And then there was one that's actually quite good. That why did the 2 penguins jump up in the air when they met each other for the first time? He didn't put that pause in that I did.
Right,
they were trying to break the ice. That's quite good for a penguin.
I like
joke.
that. I
You got to
genuinely
think.
like that.
You got to think.
I genuinely
Anyway,
like that.
Right, so Doctor Who,
Let's see
a while ago...
we make up a penguin joke.
What
What's
did the
black and
penguin-
white?
and red all over, a nun rolling down the stairs with a knife in her back.
Jesus.
Oh no, that's something
That's
else.
the trailer. No, what's black and white and red all over?
Penguin with sunburn.
That's an actual joke. We didn't
Oh.
make up a joke. We remembered one.
What's black and white and red all over? A newspaper. That's quite clever if you think about
A
it. Oh, that is a joke. Oh, right, okay.
That's actually the joke.
Is it?
Did you not know that?
No, I just suddenly thought of that. It's very clever.
You invented the most famous joke. You just invented the most famous. You savant. Let's see if we do it again. Why did the chicken cross the road?
It didn't know where it was going.
Oh, see, now if you'd said to get to the other side, you've invented the most... Well,
I
I
know,
don't
but I
understand
know
what
that one.
joke is, right? Why the chicken cross the road to get to the other side? That's an anti-joke.
Yeah.
But that's one of the first jokes
You learn
as a kid. So before you really appreciate jokes, you're learning anti-comedy. Or at least I was.
Why did the penguin... Oh, wait, no. Why did the penguin cross the road? Oh.
Why did the penguin cross the road?
Answer. What the bloody hell is it doing in the city? That's a good joke.
No, that's a bit...
But no, why did the penguin cross the road? Never mind that. What's it doing in the town?
No, I hate this sort of regressive reductionist shit. That's like a Twitter joke where someone just reverse engineers.
That's true. I always think, you know those adverts that use a pullback. You know those adverts that use a pullback and reveal? Like, you know that Muller yogurt advert where it's two women chatting about Muller yogurt, and then it pans out and they're both centaurs, and you're like, oh, they're centaurs. Oh, that's such a joke. But like, that advert wouldn't work if the whole thing was done as a long shot. So the whole advert is just two centaurs talking about Muller yogurt.
That advert would be brilliant. It's a long shot, and then it zooms into both of them.
Yeah, so at the end you're like, oh, it's two women. No, it starts... Most of the advert is just a shot of two horses' bodies. Two horses' bodies. And you think, oh, it's two horses chatting. And then it pans up and you're like, oh, they're centaurs.
Oh, it's two women. It's ironic. What other films have got two penguins in it?
Happy Feet.
Happy Feet.
I'd be Happy Feet.
I'd be Robin Williams.
Yeah, I'd be Elijah Wood. It's a good
Is it
film,
Elijah Wood, is it? You do look a bit like Elijah Wood.
Oh, I was going to talk about what people's animals are. Because yesterday I was talking to someone about what your animal is. She was a monkey. And we worked out what mine is. And when I say it, you'll be like, oh, yeah. But lizard.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Lizard. Go on, qualify it.
Oh, we didn't.
I imagine you did, or was it just a really...
We didn't
you
qualify.
You had nothing to say to each other
We just said
at
it,
that
and
point.
then, and then we were like, yep, lizard, good.
What was? And she was. So you both just agreed. There was no.
Yeah, and then we moved on.
You didn't even bother to like revel in your.
We had a chuckle. I said lizard, and then she went. And bought
Who was this you were hanging out with?
Just a friend.
I can imagine, like, if they made the Pixar film that flops is about, you know, Jaws the gecko. I can imagine you being like, you know, in a film
in a failed
just
Pixar
on
movie.
The poster's like you're on the side of the wall, but you're going downwards and you're looking up.
It's my face.
Yeah,
it's my live action face mapped onto like a CGI body.
Jaws the gecko.
Jaws the gecko.
The remake. Yeah. One of the scariest moments in my life is I was living in Ghana, and I was just having a piss in my house, and I felt something on my back, and I
and it
turned
was
around
Jaws
and
the gecko.
And I saw it was an actual lizard on my back, looking up at me. You're right, and it was actually
How big was it?
I'm gonna say, well, it's a long tail, so it was, you know, probably about a foot.
It's long.
Large. It was a large one. But what people used. There was someone that lived on the compound with us. You just pick up, just for fun. He'd pick up the lizard by the tail and he'd just swing it around, just chuck it over the compound. And but he didn't even seem to get any pleasure from it. But I knew he was making sport of it.
What? Is it alright? Oh. So yeah, Doctor Who, right?
I never had but I wanted to for 3 years. Wanted to have to be dead inside enough to be able to pick up a lizard and chuck it. I never could. But the thing is, they carry on living after you take their tail off.
Yeah, they grow them back. They grow new tails. That's so that if you pick them up by the tail, you haven't got them. How many generations of lizard do you reckon were picked up by the tail and then just like they were caught? That was it. Before they worked out, wait, let's lose our tails. Like, there must have been so many generations where people kept picking up lizards by the tail before that evolved. Do you know what I mean? Like, thousands of years of people just picking them up. And then eventually they were like, yeah.
I don't. It's not a conscious thing.
Well, no, it wouldn't be conscious, but
I think I
just find it amusing.
I think as a clinical psychologist, I'd expect more of you. Well, you got a psychology exam, haven't you?
Well, so I'll do Doctor Who first, and then I'll do the psychology exam. Right. So, firstly, I was I don't. Okay, if you've been watching Doctor Who at home, firstly, this
No.
amused me. There's an episode the other day set on a Russian nuclear submarine,
Right.
and there's a bit where they do like a nuclear test, like where they're going to like a drill for if they were actually going to launch a warhead,
Right.
and it implies that the protocol for like a Russian official nuclear drill is that the captain goes up to the big button and points his finger at it and goes, "Oh," and then goes, "No, I'm just joking. It's just a drill, but I could do it." So that was funny. But anyway, years ago, I came up with an idea for a Doctor Who series. So if I ever played Doctor Who, this is what it would be.
Yeah.
And firstly, the TARDIS is the same size on the inside as the outside. So when you go in,
Is there anything about Doctor Who that I would like?
It's got a pretty woman in it at the moment. It's got a pretty girl.
Is she annoying though?
No, she's quite clever.
Isn't there like a ginger one now?
No, that's the old one.
I see.
But-
How old is she now?
She must be
She's aged.
28.
Progeria.
29.
It's a very brave move.
New
when they
one, I
hired a
think, is
woman
like
with
26. I don't know.
progeria. Okay.
But so my Doctor Who, right? They'd all go into his TARDIS, and then they'd be like, "Oh, there's no space in here," and then I'd be like, "Yeah, deal with it." So my Doctor Who would be like a dickhead.
It's quite
like really,
sassy.
really brusque. He'd be like, "Yeah, deal with it. What's the problem? I didn't ask you to come along." And then so they're all stood there, like they've got no space, and he's like, "Right, where do you want to go?" And he'd never travel in time. He'd never travel in time, and then everyone would be like, "You're a time traveler. Can we travel in time?" So then the first time travel episode, all the episodes just happen in modern London in his flat because he's got a flat now. And they do it there. And then one day they're like, "You got a time machine? Let's go somewhere." So they go to the mid-90s, and then sorry. Okay, so they travel to not the mid-90s. They travel to 2005 and help me pass my GCSEs. So I play a double role.
Do you not
Charles
pass
Norris.
your GCSEs?
No, but like it'd be like one of those things where like I wouldn't have passed them if it weren't for Doctor Who coming in. Like, you know how like time travel, there's that whole theory on time travel that you facilitate your own future. So I'd do that. I'd go back and
That's every like workday course I've ever been on.
what
It's not a
facilitating your own future.
Yeah, like you know.
Yeah, it would all boil down to really innocuous like pep talks. He'd be like, "Well, you've got to facilitate your own future, haven't you? Get in the TARDIS."
I heard somewhere about TED Talks. I think it was actually on
The power
someone
of
on the
funny.
someone on the Joe Rogan podcast was saying like TED Talks, they're hellish to do because you have to. They make you. You're there for a whole week. You're getting paid fuck all, and you have to always be on and talk about your TED Talk subject for a week.
You've just described Bill and Ted.
What do they do that?
They have to go back in future to help pass their exam, otherwise.
Oh shit!
Bill and Ted.
Well, I've got others. There were other ideas. So
that's perfect.
There was
You've
going to
embarrassed
be
yourself.
one episode where for some reason every tennis ball in the world starts multiplying, and then so the world's drowning in tennis balls. But then because the Doctor Who's got an infinite spaceship, he just puts them all in there, which means for the rest of the series, whenever he opens the door of the TARDIS, thousands of tennis balls come out, and when they go in, it's still really small. But now it's full of tennis balls, so they're all like, "Oh God, there's no room in here." And then there'd be another one where he goes back. He eats a really delicious cake. Right, he eats a really delicious cake, and then he's like, "Oh, I loved that. I'd love to have that again." So he goes back in time and kills himself so he can eat the cake again. And then there's a really like Fawlty Towers-esque farce of him trying to dispose of the body, like his own body. And then there'd be one where he goes.
That's not
to,
how I saw that going.
How did you see it going?
I saw him going. I saw it as like a fable. He goes back in time and he wants to eat the cake again, but he's got arm full now.
No, mine he just eats it twice. And then there'd be another one
But
where
that's an interesting one. Has digestion? Is it the mind? Is digestion a question of the mind? If you can send in your answers for the next podcast,
Tweet
we'll
us.
read them out.
There's two more, right? There was another where
That's rubbish.
he went to a birthday party and he got really drunk, and then he told everyone at the birthday party that he hated him, and then he was like, "Oh, I'm really embarrassed about that." So he goes back in time to try and stop himself, but then he just gets drunk and does it twice, so he just offends everybody again. And then there was another one, because people, at this point, I imagine people were going to complain and be like, "There's not enough monsters in this series." So there'd be one episode where he's just sat around in his flat, and he gets a call on his mobile and goes, "Hello? Oh, shit." And then puts it down and then goes, "There's a lobster the size of Asia." And then they have to go and fight this lobster the size of Asia. But because the budget would be very low, all the shots of it would just be a normal lobster held up against an inflatable globe.
Oh, careful he doesn't pinch it.
Yeah, and then it would pop it by accident.
Yeah.
That's it. That was my idea for a series of Doctor Who. I think it could
I'd
be.
watch that.
I'd love it. Oh, and he'd have a Dalek as a companion.
As a companion.
Yeah, as a twist to the formula.
Yeah. I think it's really funny, but it's not fuck all to me because.
Do you not know what a Dalek is?
No, man, I just don't like Doctor Who. I never got into it.
Quite good. It's quite good.
Is it?
Oh. No, she already has been a Dalek, hasn't she?
The new Doctor
reckon she's
Who's
still
a
a Dalek?
female Dalek.
The companion was a Dalek, but now she's not. But also she was a Victorian, and now she's not. So she's probably going to end up being a Victorian Dalek. There's an image.
But like an obviously one.
What?
I mean, like it's like a Dalek with like a
Maybe
Queen Victoria
it will
bonnet
turn out
or whatever
that
it is.
Doctor Who will take out his contact lenses and then put in new ones, then look at her, and she'll properly be a Dalek.
No, what? Oh,
full-on
is it
Dalek.
a person?
Yeah, she's a person.
I thought you meant a Dalek dressed up as like Queen Victoria.
Maybe that's what it'll end up.
Oh, so it's a Dalek disguised as a ginger woman.
No, the ginger woman's gone. She used to be an imaginary woman trapped inside the brain of a Dalek.
Trapped inside the brain of a Dalek?
It's silly. It's silly, really.
Good. I thought, can't she just be trapped inside a Dalek?
Well, she sort of was as well.
By default. What's the psychology exam? I'm curious, man.
Right. This is a psychology test that I learned. And you learn all about people's perceptions on the world through it. I learned it from a film called Bob's Weekend. If you've seen it, then watch it. It's very good. It's got Ricky Tomlinson in it. But this is it. And I've done it, so I'll tell you my answers as we go through.
This psychology exam was in Bob's Weekend?
Yeah, and basically it's all about your perception of things.
Okay.
So we start with, there's a mountain overlooking a valley, right? Down at the bottom of the valley, there's a river, there's some trees. Halfway up the mountain, there's a plateau. And then there's the top of the mountain. Where do you build your house? The valley, the plateau, or the top of the mountain?
So let's go.
Mountain, valley. In the valley, there's some trees and a river. Halfway up the mountain, there's a plateau. At the top of the mountain, there's the peak. Do you build your house in the valley, on the plateau, or at the peak?
Do you know, I would actually build my house in the valley because I'm thinking of a place in Watersmeet in northwest Devon. That's one of my favourite places to visit. And
It's got a mountain.
Well, because what I'm thinking is you can live. They say that it's better to live on the South Bank and look at St Paul's than it is to live in St Paul's and look at the South Bank before it got done up. No, I would live in. I quality
You'd rather
of life.
see a mountain than see the view.
No, actually, to be honest, you'd get really bored of the mountain really quickly.
Climb.
Yeah, but exactly, you could do all that. Also, the plateau sounds like the obvious place to build a house, but actually, think about it. That's a really boring place to build a house. And
That's where I built mine.
I know it's where you build yours. that's another reason why I didn't go. The top of the mountain's just silly. Because of this Watersmeet place that I always used to go to in my childhood, I know how wonderful it could be to live in a valley.
Okay.
That's a great answer.
Next one.
Is that the right?
We'll do answers.
What
in a
does
bit.
it say about me?
We'll
Am I Rolf
come to
Harris? Have I got a hairy arsehole?
You are. You are a Victorian Dalek. Okay. Next question is: around your house, are there any trees? If so, how many and what kind?
In real life or in the valley?
No, in this imaginary house.
Well, if
That
you
you've
said there's
built in
loads
the
of
valley.
trees.
Well, maybe there aren't. Are there?
Oh, so we're changing it.
Well, are there any trees?
Specifically, yes, because that's why I moved there. Because
Okay.
it's loads of trees.
Okay. Imagine there aren't any. Imagine I didn't say
I would
there
say
were.
what there'll be. There'll
Imagine-
be trees,
imagine I
but in the
didn't say
middle
there weren't
distance,
any.
there'll be a bit of a clearing.
Okay. So in the middle distance, there's trees.
I would say
Lots of them. Lots of them.
Yeah, man.
What kind? Deciduous or the other one? Coniferous.
Deciduous.
Deciduous. I had an orchard of apple
Deciduous
trees. I had an orchard of apple trees in my garden. Okay, next you go for a walk.
No, let me answer the question.
You said trees in the distance.
You said what kind of trees?
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Don't know. Christmas trees. I Well, yeah, I'd have the sort of pine foresty trees.
Okay. Okay, next you go for a walk in the woods, right? And you see an animal. Can be any animal. What animal is it, and what's your reaction to it, and what's it doing?
It's taking a nasty turn. This is all in Bob's weekend.
Yeah. Really long scene.
What's the film about?
It's about this guy called Bob. He tries to jump off Blackpool Pier, but then a girl comes along and takes him on a ride on the fun fair.
And while they're on the ride, he does the
they
psychology.
do the psychology test. Then at the end, he gets a teddy bear stolen by a carny.
It's a carnivore. A blind carnivore. By a boss-eyed bear. What trees would I have?
No, we've done that. We've done that.
No, it's the animal.
What animal do you see?
And what's it doing?
And what's it doing?
What do I
what's
think
your
about
what's your response to it?
The animal's going to be a dodo.
Sorry.
And we're both going to be shocked. But
What's it doing?
But in a it's a dodo, and it's. I'm trying to think of some way that it's like it's made a life for itself in the in the trees, and so it's kind of doing something kind of like it's anthropomorphized.
It's got half moon glasses on its beak.
No. It's quite young at heart still. It's got a
It's
young
got a leather jacket.
it's got
me.
It's talking about
Willy Yogurt.
Yeah, it's a centaur.
Talking about Willy Yogurt.
I meet a centaur,
Then it
and I go,
pans
and my reaction is I go, oh, it's a woman. No, I genuinely imagine like a kind of like
A shocked dodo.
a dodo.
In a house. A
I
shocked
immediately
dodo in a
imagined
house.
this shocked in his house. But this is the thing is, I'm the weirdo because he's just like he's looking out into the garden doing his dishes in the window, and he sees a man just standing in his garden. And he's the shocked one.
I had a stag in the
So what
distance.
does that tell?
We'll come to the
All right.
answers.
Yeah.
I had a stag in the distance, and I just viewed it with awe. I looked at it with awe.
Okay, fair enough.
Next, you find a key. Describe it and tell me what you do with it. Just lying on the ground, a key.
I find a key. I immediately thought my uncle used to have this huge gold key that he got for his birthday that I don't know what it was for, but he had it in his bedroom and I thought it was cool. When I was like 7 or 8, I thought this big gold key was cool. So what I do is I find it and I think of him.
And you don't pick it up, you leave it there.
No, I pick it up and I'll tell you what, I give it to the dodo. And he hangs it up, but the thing is, because it's like a wood house,
Yeah.
it doesn't look out of place. I don't know what that means. Because it's like a funny house, isn't it? Because it's a dodo, and I mean, he's got a house. Because he's got a house, he hangs up. He's got a spare peg, and he hangs up the key, and because I imagine us getting on.
You and the dodo.
Yeah, it's like a human dodo.
Despite the initial shock.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
But the shock was I was the weird one. Got 10
2
minutes.
minutes. Oh, right.
All right.
Okay.
How many more
Next,
questions are there?
No, there's not too many more. Next, the main path, the well-worn path, goes straight on, and then there's an overgrown path off to the left. That hasn't been trod much. It's a bit darker. Which path do you go
Right,
down?
I'm gonna use this for my political rant about literature. Because that poem, The Road Less Travelled,
Yeah.
by, is it Robert Browning or Robert
Probably.
Frost or something like that? It's people think that poem is like saying, because it says, and I was all the better for it. It's an ironically written poem about people who, with their self-compensating make-believe, about taking like a less travel route is some, it's about people who feel smug about doing something like that. It's an ironically written poem, but people hold it. It was in the top 100, Griff Rhys-Jones top 100 poems.
Top 100 Griff
It was like
Rhys-Joneses.
there's a book, the BBC Book of Poems, that came out. That was very popular.
Yeah.
That was, it was in that, and it was held up, and everyone votes for it, thinking it means one thing. I was taught. I'm sorry, Mr. Crow, I'm outing you. This is not like Mr. Dodo. This is how the teacher called Mr. Crow.
Mr. Crow.
And he said, it might not have been him. It might have been Mrs. Lucy. But who, yeah.
What, she's told you what it really was?
They were trying to say, and doesn't this wonderful poem about how to take the road less travelled wasn't meant like that?
So you're saying you'd go down the main path?
Where is it? In the forest?
It's in the wood, yeah. You don't know where either of them leads. Oh, this is a good song.
I'm going to assume it's the road less travelled that leads to the Dodo house.
But you've just come from the Dodo house.
I'm coming from the Dodo house.
Yeah, you're carrying on.
I was thinking a different day.
No, you're carrying on through the
I was thinking like the TV series of my pop psychology exam.
No, it's the same day, same walk.
And so in that case, if I'm coming from the Dodo house, I'm going to take the main one because that's the main exit from his house, isn't it?
Okay. Next, you come across some... I took the road less travelled when I did it.
And
next,
did you feel very smug about it? That's the point.
Felt invigorated.
Felt invigorated.
Next, you come across some...
Did you do the Dodo's house as well?
Everyone does the Dodo's house.
It's like...
That's the only
all
constant.
The numbers add up to 42 at the end. Right, Karl.
Okay, you come across some form of water. Can be anything at all.
It would be the
What
river,
is it?
won't it? Where I'm
river.
living. But you said it was. You said I was.
Doesn't
I'm
have to be a river.
taking you so literally.
Doesn't have to be a river. Is that what you see though? You
So
see
I
a
come
river.
across some water.
Yeah. What kind of water is it?
It's gonna be fresh water.
Okay. What form?
Water that's taken on the form of its environment. I would say.
Yeah, but is it a lake? Is it a river?
It's a downhill river thing.
Okay.
And in the middle is an ice sculpture of a dodo. Yeah, sorry, Karen. Don't spoil I'm finding out who I am.
I had a small, still pool for mine, like a quiet, calm pool. Next, you come across something that stops you from carrying on. Some kind of obstacle. What is it?
The river.
It's the river. Okay. Mine was a fallen tree. And the last
That
thing...
would help you get across.
If both our stories combined... If we...
Are we both coming away from the dodo house?
And finally, what can you see across the river? Another dodo.
What can I see across the river?
Dodo's wife.
Is this the one that tells me who I am? Okay, so coming away from the dodo house. Well, now I'm wondering,
Yeah.
why is this main road led to a river that you can't cross?
I don't make the rules.
I'm asking you this.
I don't
just-
make the rules. You thought it. It's your brain. Oh, sorry, I dropped a bottle.
Okay, so I've come across a river. What's at the other side of the river?
Yeah.
My house.
Okay. I saw just more forest. Do you want to know what the answers mean now?
Don't disappoint me.
Okay. The first thing, if you build your house in the valley, then you're a very practical person. If you build it on the peak, then you're an idealist. And if you build it on the plateau, then you're both. So I'm both.
I would say boring.
You're a practical person. The trees represent friends. They represent your friends. So you had some in the distance. You had some pine trees in the distance, but a lot of them.
That sounds like I'm quite
So
a satellite to
you
most
keep
groups.
your friends at arm's length,
That's-
maybe.
yeah, that's
I
very
had an
true.
orchard of apple trees, so maybe that means that my
English
friends will bear
yeah.
fruit.
White.
Will bear fruit.
White women. All your friends were white women. All his friends are white women.
That's true. Okay, the animal.
Mine were pine trees, Christmas trees.
That means permanence. That means they're Norwegian.
but they.
Scandinavian.
Okay.
The animal represents your view of society. So, you saw it as a dodo in a house. You saw it as an extinct animal in an absurd context.
That was more afraid of me than I was of it. And I'll be honest, that's quite accurate. That's actually bang on.
I saw it as a stag in the distance that I viewed with awe. So I think my view of
society in awe from a distance.
Apparently.
Okay.
The key is knowledge.
I'd love it if it stopped recording about 10 minutes ago.
The key represents knowledge. So you saw your uncle's big gold key and you gave it to society. You gave knowledge to society. That you got from your uncle.
From my past.
You got knowledge
I give myself to
the world.
To society. Yeah, that's all right. I'm an artist.
The path one, it just means whether or not you're willing to take risks. So you're not.
My life is a story of risks.
Clearly not. Not in this scenario.
It led to a river.
The water.
I came at a dodo with a giant key. Don't talk to me about risks.
The water represents sex drive. So you specified fresh. You specified downhill. and you specified moving. You also specified an ice sculpture of a dodo, but I don't know how serious.
No. That was Luke's. So mine was fresh
downhill river.
Right.
Fresh downhill
so
moving.
So a lot's happening.
But it's going downhill. You're worried about it. You're worried about it. Mine was a calm pool, which I'm happy with.
Yours just a calm, but didn't you say small pool?
No, I didn't say small. I didn't say small. I didn't say puddle.
That's what I thought
said
you
a calm,
meant.
still
I
pool.
thought you meant a little puddle.
I meant a calm, like a.
So mine's like a raging hard-on, and
mine's
you've
like
got
a lagoon.
little puddle.
Mine's a little peaceful lagoon.
Puddle with a frog on a lily pad that covers more than the puddle. All right. So I've got a raging hard on, and you've got.
Mine's a calm lagoon because intimacy, isn't it? Stillness. There's a stillness in intimacy.
And risk-taking in intimacy.
Yep.
And mine's no risk-taking hard on.
Downhill.
Mine's.
And then the obstacle, the thing that stops you from continuing, is your view of death. So you see death as a river.
So I'm going to die of sex. But at the other end, I saw my house.
Yeah, that's your view of paradise.
So
is your own home.
But I can't get there because I'm dying of AIDS. So hold on. This is the river or the dodo that's given me... I give a giant key to a dodo and he gives me AIDS. What was at the other end of your puddle?
More forest.
I'm going to say, I don't think the forest is really a metaphor for friends.
Do you know?
So at the other end of... No, it's white women.
Yeah, my view of paradise is more white women.
So no, but what's your puddle?
That's a. Oh no, my obstacle was a fallen tree. So maybe like a dead white woman. I get killed by...
The thing stopping you from going to other white women is a dead white woman.
Yeah.
Do you know, but what do you mean Luke's going, yep, that makes sense? I don't know how you make sense of that.
What, to myself?
So hold on. So you're somewhere between... So I must be quite practical then.
No, you're practical, but I've got half a foot in the dreamers camp because I built my house on the plateau. Norris.
I'm just imagining you doing the splits halfway up.
That's my 2014 show. Half a foot in the dreamers camp.
What do we conclude from all this?
I think nothing that we didn't already know.
Which is nothing at all.
There's no conclusions. Luke's making a sign with his
Okay, so we got to wrap
hands.
up. Okay, so you do your pseudo-religious stuff and I'll interrupt.
Well, I hope that
We got to thank the pub. We are at the St.
St.
Christopher
Christopher's
Inn. I had a lovely steak burger, which I enjoyed.
I had a lovely scampi and chips, which was great, and a good Coke. It's at London Bridge. The staff are
It's on
lovely.
Borough High Street.
The staff are lovely. Excellent menu. I came here once with my friend Jack, Helen and Ferrica. Friends, sorry. Not with my friend Jack, Helen and Ferrica. I came here with my friends Jack,
I came
Helen
here
and
with my
Ferrica.
apple trees.
And we had a taste card. And so we got a discount, because if you have a taste
Okay.
card, you get
Oh,
money
so that's
off.
a good thing.
Yeah,
They'll
but
want
if
to
you've got a
say.
taste card, then come to St. Christopher's Inn. I had a roast pie, I think. I think I had a roast pie.
Okay,
That's
right.
nice. No, it's a lovely pub. Do come here. Big shout out to Laugh Out London as well.
We didn't get to do the double conversation thing, man.
Should we
About you chat up a woman by.
Should we save
You
it
do
for next
have a
time,
normal
or should we do
conversation.
it?
Oh, we'll do it next time. Okay.
Well, look forward to that.
Basically,
Next
it's-
week.
It's the
double
golden
conversation.
way. It's the golden way to get your downward river flowing. This is how next week I'm going to teach you how to get your downward
Next week,
hill.
Karl will be giving me
river.
relationship advice.
River.
Yeah, down
next week I'm going to be talking to you how to get your how to
get
turn
your
that
river
how to
flowing.
turn that into a puddle into a river. Yeah, that gives you AIDS or whatever it
So
does.
thanks for tuning into the WhatNot podcast. I hope that you've enjoyed it as much as I have. Please
learned a
remember
lot,
to comment,
actually.
rate, subscribe, like, tweet,
Share,
share.
retweet. Don't favourite because that means nothing.
Yeah. Tell your friends about it.
Email to people.
Give us a call if you're bored. Give us
Send
a call.
excited emails. If you
and-
can, this is something else, right? If you can, go on YouTube and look up Daniel Evans. He's got a radio show called Bandana, and it's balls to the wall batshit. So look that up.
And I
I'll
hope that
send a
you
link.
all have a beautiful day wherever you are.
It's
And I
amazing.
give you all my,
Go on.
well, just all my love. Just all my love. None of my peace and none of my faith. Not today, I'm not in the mood. Thanks for listening to the WhatNot podcast. We're on iTunes, SoundCloud, and YouTube, so listen to us there. And please remember to comment, rate, and subscribe. Thank you for listening, and I hope you have a beautiful day wherever you are.